Good evening, everybody. Today we are going to be talking about the 2001 to 2005 Honda Civic. This is right here my 2002 Honda Civic sedan. As you can see, I have an H22 in it. Previous to this motor engine swap, I had a B20 in this. I will go ahead and give you the step by step. Go ahead and give you the sauce so that way you can do what you need to do to your EM2, ES1, ES2, EP3. I mean, shit, I would even love to have one of these in a hatch if you ask me. All right, so as all you know, if you follow me on Instagram, you see that I have a 2002 Honda Civic here. Previous to this swap, I did a B20 Z2 swap with the LS transmission and a shift linkage. From the inside of the interior, where your shifter box would sit at, you have to pull that out. Drill, I want to say it's like a 2 inch, maybe an inch and a half hole, so that the shifter can come all the way up and through properly, and you're able to reach it and shift and everything. So all in all, I'll go ahead and we'll talk about this today. So for this complete setup, everything that I've done here, only thing that I used that had to come from another Civic was the mounts. So the mounts for this are from a 96 to 2000 EK H22 swap mount kit. So as you can see, if you follow me on Instagram, I welded this plate down. There's this plate right here that's part of the H22 swap mount kit setup. If you're gonna do a B swap, there's this right here. There's already a threaded. There's already a hole right there where that's threaded. That's where going to be the bottom part of the mount goes, and that's going to be the back side of your mount where it will go as well. And then you're pretty much just set up, and then you're pretty much going to weld right there is where my other plate was previously at, and that was for my B20. That one is the one that I had used on there to get that to all like to mount up and do its thing for me. This is a DDM air intake airbox. Found this at the junkyard. I had to put it on here because it looked too good to be true. This is a coolant reservoir, as you can see. A couple extra hoses down here. That way I can get a bit of an extra flow going on, so that way this will stay cooler. This is running on 2 fans, one on the front, one on the back, both sides, so that way this won't overheat, won't go crazy on me when I'm doing long road trip drives or if I'm out just cruising about and whatnot. Everything else that is on here is pretty much in here all the way. The only thing that I really had to fabricate was the rear transmission mount. On my Instagram page, like I said, if you go to build underscore ES1, you'll see there that the transmission mount that I had made, all I did was cut off the top part of the mount, this guy, and then pretty much cut out 2 square-inch tubes that were like 1.5 inches tall lengthwise. And then I made a small little plate that will hold bolt down to the subframe back there in the back, and then pretty much just weld all those down together, and that will give you the correct height adjustment you need in order for the H22 T bracket to fit back there, and also the B20 T bracket to fit back there. Main thing of them all, the wiring harness is all original. Under here, got my coils, so I will go ahead and show y'all this first. I know a lot of y'all with the D17s and everything, y'all probably like, yo, where's the little black box at? Where those 2 little black boxes? Well, as you can see, I extended them so that way I can tuck the harness all the way back off in there properly and don't have to worry about any of that being in my way or being exposed or anything like that. To me, myself, it looks proper and everything, but me myself, I want it to look clean, so that's what I did. I just extended the wires from my coil packs, and I just ran them along. The COPs are from a K20. I just pretty much went to the junkyard and grabbed those. The coil pack plate, I made that myself. It's not perfect, but it's something that I wanted to do, something I just wanted to try, put my own self to the test of building something other than just going out and buying everything. Some of the stuff you can just build, so that's what I did. The one thing that I did modify on here is this. So for your throttle body on the B series and H series, F series, whatever engine you're going to use that isn't a D17 or a D series period, you're going to have to take your throttle body where the map sensor hole is at. You're going to drill that hole slightly open, just a little bit bigger, so that way you can fit this map sensor on here. You can pretty much just use one screw. You don't need the other screw on the back side. So yeah, next let's talk about this right here. This is pretty much like my distributor. A lot of people out there are wondering, how do I get this to fire up? How does it operate just like a D17? Well, we all know that these little keys right here are on the back side of the cam gear, and this sensor sits deeply off in there on the D17. Well, as you can see, I've made my own little pulse plate here. Let's get this off. See? It fits straight up on there, perfectly fine. Nothing too crazy. I can flip this just like this and put it right back on here when it's time to tune. It's literally simple, easy. I will and can be making more of these for anybody out there that's wanting to put a B20 in their EM2, ES1, anything of this chassis style. I will be making more of these so that way I can put these out there and for them to sell. Now, as far as this being held up right here, because this came stock with the H22, I just pretty much drilled a hole and pretty much made my little way of having this set up. I will try to 3D print something or get on CAD and try to create a way for this to be accessible and available for other H22s and B20s as well. So yeah, in place of all of this, pretty much like I said, if I'm stock, that's it. And what I mean by stock is the fact that there's another gentleman out here in the world. It was pretty bold of him. He has a B20, he has a B18 VTEC swap in his EM2. It's a red one. You know, it's lovely. It's classic. Can't pass up on that. But the thing is, he said he was the world's first. We all know that's not that. I myself here am not going to say that I'm world's first. No, but I am world's first to do the B20 swap and the H20 swap in the same chassis of the car and make it functional, run, all that. I could prove it. We all know it. So yeah, supposedly there's been other people in the world that has done this swap plenty of other times with the B20 as well. I have yet to see him on Instagram or on the internet. I've seen only one, and that's it was a silver one with the H22 in it. It was an EM2. He had left everything else in here and went all about that. So yeah, I will show you by what I mean stock. I don't plan on K-Proing this anytime soon yet. I'm not running no Honda S3000 when it's time to tune it. It's gonna go straight to K-Pro, just because I can flip that plate around and go ahead and do what I have to do to get this all punchy just right. So please do mind the mess. Let me get up in here. So I went on ahead and just took out the glove box so that way I could show y'all that this is literally the same ECU that runs on your D17A2. This is the VTEC ECU. The previous one I had in here was a D17A1 ECU to operate the B20. This one is going to be for the VTEC for the H22, so that way I can pretty much, get that kicking in, and go from there. Previous to this was the shift linkage. I went back to cables. Shift knock as a hoodie, trying to stay cool during these winter builds. But yeah, gotta love it. I do have to add some oil to the transmission and whatnot, but yeah. Now, so let's go and pick back up over to you installing the mounts. So in order to install these mounts and either use the 96 to 2000 D2B swap mount kit, or if you want to do an H22 F series, you're going to get with the EK swap mount kit. So what you're going to do is you're going to drill out the pinch wells that originally came in here, and you're pretty much going to toss that out. I cut this open because I plan on putting something else right here, so please don't mind this at all. But so as you see, cam gear trigger plate is right here, sensor is there. Behind this cover, I should have just left this off, but I didn't because I had to service the water pump, and then I kind of just put everything back together. There's the reluctor wheel. The key for that is you're going to take a D17 reluctor wheel, you're going to cut that off, you're going to keep just the backside to it. I'll try to post another video up that I did yesterday that didn't record correctly. I will try to cut that up and just post up just that portion of it, so that way it'll clearly explain to you everything that I've done, and you'll see that and how I put that together into there. But all in all, it's ready and set. I can pretty much go and plug up the battery and turn key. But the only reason why I haven't been able to do that yet is because I am tucking my harness. I'm tucking the headlights. Pretty much you can see there's a zip tie right here. Harness wires right there. It's on the inside in there, but on this side. And it's running up through there. It came out the door. I pretty much pushed everything back into the car and then ran it outside of the door hinge area. And just ran it up and over and connected it all up. As far as tucking the harness goes and everything, let's go ahead and get y'all down here. And you see that big ass mess right there. Pardon my language. But you see all that right there. Well, that I am trying to finish. I have to wrap the rest of that up and then tough that off in there. That's where you want to see that. Yes, this is a braided stainless steel line for my clutch. Pretty much. So that way I can make that work. Yeah. Try to keep this clean as possible. But yeah. I will be working on another EM2 here soon. That's going to be having a B swap in that one. That one, I will record everything that I do step by step for you on that one. So that way you can follow that and pretty much, go from there with your swap and have a blessed day and have fun with that. But all in all, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for taking the time to check out my page, check out my channel. I will try to continue to give you more content, especially about this build on what I'm planning on doing. Really don't know too much of like what I really want to do in the future of it besides just the turbo kit. I will design and set up my own little way for that. Also, I should have mentioned this earlier, but I didn't. I apologize. I'm kind of backtracking a little bit. As far as your intake manifold goes, on the H series, I did have to take out the one that was in between here and there, the little spacer. I had to delete that because with that in there, I was going to be so high up here that I was going to have to hit this part of my frame back, which you can see I've already done because I tried it and it didn't work out too well. So I did have to take that out in order to get this to fit off in here properly. Now, as far as the B20 intake goes, that fits right off in here perfectly fine. It won't touch this at all. No, nothing. It's like sits right off, down off, and into there. No disturbance to the frame, no nothing. Now, as far as the underneath and everything else goes, I will show you that tomorrow. I will make another video tomorrow as well to show you everything underneath as far as separating. How did I get the oil pan to slide down off in there and all that? And I will show you like exhaust, like how I got the exhaust to swing around the sway bar link arm that's down there. And yeah, I'll also show you the axles. I'll also show you the backside mount, so that way you can see everything that I've done up to this point right now. The weather's kind of getting kind of bad. It's kind of about to rain and whatnot. But all in all, I just want to say thank y'all. I just want to say thank you to everybody out there that stopped by to view this. I know this is probably something that y'all weren't expecting. Maybe y'all thought of it. We've all thought of it. We've all thought about doing the B swap in this. We've all thought about doing the H series swap. We all thought about doing something sneaky other than the K swap. Well, here it is. All right. Well, I will give y'all more as we go, so that way y'all can see and take note to understand that I didn't do anything out of place. This is the alternator from a D17. I didn't want to I didn't want to splice the plug harness on that, so I just left it as is because it's a D17. So keep it on there. It fits perfectly. It mounts up just like the H22, just like a D17. Why not? So yeah. And once again, thank y'all for watching, and then until next time.